When I first started lifting, I always dreamed of having a six-pack. I tried loads of different exercises, but I could never achieve my desired result. And it wasn't until years later that I finally realised why. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the dietary changes I made, the exercises I found most effective, and the best supplements to take to help you get a six-pack as well. Firstly, and most importantly, we want to cut out any excess sugar in our diet. Too much sugar, particularly fructose, causes weight gain around the abdomen area. When I done my first cut back in 2022, I literally had 0 sweets and chocolate, and I think this was the most important factor in me getting my abs so defined. We also want to lower our carb intake and increase our fats. A low carb, high fat diet contributes to weight loss. When I went on my cut, I had one big carb meal a day, and then I got the rest of my calories from high fat foods like nuts and dark chocolate. We also want to be in a slight calorie deficit. I say slight because when I went in a calorie deficit, I went way too far with it. When you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose more fat, making your abs more visible. You only need to eat 200 or 300 calories less than your daily intake. And this is where you need to be careful, because if you go too far with your cut, you'll end up like me, losing too much strength and muscle in the gym. Since then, I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned we only need to be in a slight calorie deficit to burn any excess fat and make our abs more visible. You also want to look beyond macros and start learning to read ingredients labels. And by doing this, we'll learn to cut out all UPFs. UPF stands for ultra processed foods, and these foods are designed to be hyper palatable, designed to make you eat more and more, causing weight gain. We also want to cut out alcohol, which is pretty self-explanatory because that causes weight gain around the midsection as well, as we all know. So next, we want to talk about the fun part. What exercises do we need to do to get our abs popping? There was only 4 different exercises I did to get my abs the way they were, and that was a decline weighted crunch, a decline crunch with a twist, cable crunch, and leg raises. The decline weighted crunch allows us to target and progressively overload our upper abs. With this exercise, we really want to make sure we squeeze our abs at the top of each rep, bringing the weight up above our head. If you can't do it with the weight at first, that's fine. Everyone starts somewhere. Just do it without the weight and then progressively overload as you get better. The cable crunch also targets the upper abs, but this offers us a different kind of resistance. The decline crunch with a twist also works our obliques as well as our upper abs, which gives our physique more of a sculpted look. Leg raises are going to target our lower abs, and this is the hardest part of your abs to make visible. If you can, try and find a Roman chair to do this. It's better than the bar or the pull-ups because it takes our hip flexors out of it, giving us a better squeeze on the lower abs. Finally, with exercises, we want to avoid ab blast routines and circuit style ab workouts. I used to do these all the time, but I can't believe it took me so long to realize that these don't properly overload the abs. When it comes to the abs, we keep them the same as any other muscle group. Progressively overload them with sets and reps. And then we track those sets and reps to measure our progress and make sure we keep improving as well. Moving on to supplements. The first supplement I'm going to recommend is apple cider vinegar. Studies suggest that ACV can reduce weight loss and particularly target belly fat. I know a lot of people are still skeptical about the effects of apple cider vinegar on the body, but all I'm saying is, when I used to take apple cider vinegar every day for 3 months straight, my abs were in the best shape ever. I know it tastes kind of nasty, so I don't blame you if you want to skip it, but it could just make our abs pop just that little bit more. Moving on to other supplements, and protein powder is pretty standard. It's going to help us hit our daily protein goals, but we specifically want whey isolate. Whey isolate is the best form of protein we can get, and we also want to avoid any artificial sweeteners and excess sugar as well. If you can, try and find one with just stevia as a sweetener, or if you like me, just go unflavored. Creatine boosts our strength and endurance and can also indirectly affect fat loss by helping us perform some more intense workouts. Finally, the last supplement we can take to help aid us in this journey is caffeine. Caffeine boosts your metabolic rate, meaning you burn more calories when you're at rest. It also helps us stay focused and alert in the gym, helping us perform better workouts. With caffeine though, the timing is the poison. So try to avoid consumption after midday if you can. You can get your caffeine source from a pre-workout or caffeine tablet, but again, try to avoid bullshit like artificial sweeteners. I just go for a cup of coffee in the morning, and that sets me up for the day perfectly. But that's everything for today. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.